Hello, everybody, I'm back. So, I was already working on setting up the level of detail for some of my static meshes already, and yeah, I kind of forgot to record that, so I'm just gonna continue working on that and just record from where I left off. So, let me see, where did I leave off? Um, Oh, okay, so let me just show you this. So normally I have it in lit. Oh, no, not lit. Unlit. So that you can see the textures and all that kind of stuff. But if I set it to, oh, you can't see it, but up here, it's a drop down menu, unlit right up here. It's a view mode. That's the view mode. This is for show flags, I think. Yeah, show flags. And then this one is for view mode. So under view mode, click the drop down menu, go down to level of detail coloration, and then choose mesh LOD coloration. All right, and you can see how the level of detail works in my game. It didn't work like this before. Like I said, I was working on this earlier and I forgot to stream. So, um, but this is how it looks now. So let me start off with the very first one. When you're very close up to something like this floor, it will be level of detail 0, meaning everything. If you didn't set any of the settings yet, like I have, level of detail 0 is the most basic level. If you don't have anything, it's going to be LOD 0. Which in my case, that was the case, and that was why I was having some problems with my playtesting. It felt, you know, slow and sluggish. It's because all of these static meshes were, except for the wall, for some reason, the wall, everything was at LOD 0, meaning it didn't have an LED level of detail system set to it yet. And except for the walls, which had up to 4. So LOD 0, LOD, okay, 0 is gray and white, LOD 1 is red, LOD 2 is green, and then as you get further away, LOD 4, let me go back, 4, you see that blue showing up? I mean 3, LOD 3. So in my case, LOD 3 is blue, and that's how far away I have to be for it to change to that level of detail. Which, I think that's not how I set it. So if I go back to the wall, click on the wall, click on the actual static mesh, change this again to level of detail mesh, level of detail. You can see LOD 0 is gray and white up here, and the current size is, let me just select it, type it in. So LED, so the screen size is at 1. So when we, so we're at 1. Current screen size is 1.4. So we're already at 1. So this is the LED level of detail 0. But when we go down to LOD 1, screen size, it'll change to LOD level of detail 1 when the screen size reaches 0.5. So we zoom out and watch the screen size. And if you see 0.5, it'll change to LOD 1, which LOD 1, what color is that? That is red. There we go. So you see, as soon as I crossed 0.5, it turned into LOD 1 and gave me the red color. So this is how it's supposed to look, right? So when we go to green, which is 0.2, back here, and then blue, which is 0.05, and back here. So that's how I have it set up for the static meshes. Okay, but if we look and we just concentrate on this one, okay, forget that one. Let's just concentrate on this one. This corner bottom wall piece right here. See how far it is before it turns blue? And what about this one? So right about here. And in other words, it doesn't match. This one takes longer, means you have to go farther away. And that is because I am using instant static meshes and they group everything. So these isolated ones are, you know, how you manually set them, how you actually want them to be. But whenever you're just using these static meshes by default and not using them as instance static meshes. In my case, I'm using all of these are instant static meshes. So they cluster them into LOD groups, and the engine will decide on its own. So I have to go into each and every single one of them and try to force them to change by using this culling section of the instant static mesh component. So at minimum draw distance, we want to keep that at 0. Start culling. Let me see if I don't know if I want to. That's too early. If I want to set that to 2000, and then I want to set this to 4000, I think this might be too early. And after 4000 centimeters, it'll disappear completely, I think. So let me see if that's what I want. Probably not, but I'm just testing it. So, yeah. Okay, no, that's fine, actually. Let me see if I'm in an actual corridor. How will it look? As you can see off in the distance, it's disappeared. So that's not what I want. I want the hallways to go all the way down as far as I can. So if I'm standing right here, let me see the hallway all the way down there. Well, is there any hallways that are longer than this? Oh, up here. I think this is one of them. Yeah, let's see if I can adjust this one. So if I already it's cut off, and I don't want that. So if I stand at the farthest I can right here, I actually don't want the walls to cut off. I do want to keep them. So let me go back. Let's try 8,000. And 18,000, like that. And say this. And see if it'll go all the way to the end. Kind of. Yeah. But you can see, yeah, you can see right through to the abyss. Maybe I should put it at 20,000 instead. Okay, and then there, it's come back, so it's not black anymore. Don't know. I mean, it's so small you can't see the details anyway, so there is no need to show it. But actually do want to show it. So let me see if I can stand back here again. Let me say it 8,000. So yeah, let me start this at 2,000 and this at 20,000. See how that looks. This is the farthest that I can think of for any hallway. It goes from literally one end of the map, the rift, to the other end. Let's see. I can still see it going into the abyss, so it's not showing the wall. Let me try. 25,000 instead. Compile that. And save. Nice. I can see it. Let me see if I stand a little farther back. Get closer. Wonder what's that? Get up here. Oop, it disappeared. That's 2,500. That's 25,000 right there. See, I don't know if you can see that black square right there. That's the, and then it turns into blue. It just pops in and then pops out. Or pops out and then pops in. So if I get closer, it pops in. If I get farther, it pops out. And that is the distance of 25,000. So let me change it one more to, like, say 28. Actually, leave it. Let's see. Compile that. And let's see if I can. Yeah, it's blue. And if I go farther back, pops. No, it doesn't pop out. Okay. And pay attention. Alright, let me keep going. Keep going. Oh, turned from blue to green. That wall all the way at the far back there. Let me show you what wall I'm talking about. Wall all the way back there. This wall all the way back here. Or maybe it was the stairs. Maybe that's what. Oh no, the stairs disappears. The stair disappears. Let's see if that red turns into green. Okay, it turns into green and then it turns into blue. Okay. Alright. So, let me see. Actually, I like that. I like that. That's good. 28,000. Alright, so 20,000. Okay. So the stairs. What is the wall? Let me see if I can do this. Let me show you how I did this. So, what is light? Yes, I will set it to 1. This is something else. You don't have to. Oh my goodness. And this one too. Alright. If I change this to light. 40141. 40141. Okay. And then change this LOD. Click on custom. Oh, okay. It looks like the stairs already have a good amount of level of detail. If it's at 0, that's bad. That means it's always going to render the highest, best quality no matter how far away you are from the view camera, or from your view camera is from the object, which is bad. Because, like, if you're all the way back here playing the game, your GPU and CPU will get bogged down because it's still loading this, even though you can't see it or it's this far away. You want the quality of it to be lower so that it saves you CPU and GPU. So you don't want just LOD 0. You want to actually have different levels of detail. So LOD 0 is the highest, best quality, and then 1 is maybe like half that, and then 2 is a quarter of that, and then 3 is like, you know, no, maybe that's a quarter. I don't know. No, that's like a half of a quarter. So it's like custom. So you can do it automatically, which might not be good. It might not, especially if you know your game. Like in my case, it's not an open world game. It's an enclosed game. Like you're inside of a structure all the time. You're either in the derelict spaceship or like this, and you're never outside to see, like, you know, distances this far away. Where blue is the farthest colorization for level of detail. So right here is already good, actually. Huh. This is actually nice. And that's why I'm not working on this one. I'm working on 3. Rift 3, which is the abandoned industrial complex, is always giving me problems. So you see how different the colorization looks here as opposed to derelict spaceship. Let me see, is it going to load or what? So this looks really nice. White and gray up here, red a little bit middle distance away, and then you can see a good amount of green. Then finally blue, which is too far away, and you don't want high textures, high quality textures back there anyways, because it's just, you can't see the details. So, but up here, you want the details up here. So this is LOD 0, which is gray and white. Alright, so this is good. Let me see, 4, Rift 4. I'm in the right spot. I want to go to deck 5, and it's kind of okay. Not really. The ceiling and the floor is doing something wonky, which is I don't want that to do that. I want it to change its level of detail. See how it's red back there and all white and gray up here, meaning it's going to keep the detail even this far away, which most players cannot see that. Even if you have 20/20 vision, you can't see the detail of that anyway. So why waste your GPU and CPU leaving that at high quality? Just reduce the quality around this level where you see the red and the green. So let me see. I don't know. Again, because this is using static mesh, instant static meshes, it might, even if I changed it, it probably won't change it in the actual viewport because it's using its own culling distance and all that kind of stuff. So let me go back into the fourth rift proc halls. Go back to the, not the wall, but the floor. Look at the mesh of this. If I turn on, let me just check real quick. Okay, light is fine. LOD, click on, so I do already have 4, which is good. You don't want it to just be LOD 0 and that's it. You want it to at least have 4. Or in my case, and for my game, I want it to at least have 4 because then I can have different. So this is LOD 0. Back here, LOD 2. That's too far. I don't need. Already, the quality is not that good here. Well, up to here. So this should be red now. Not all the way back here. And then green. No, that's just. And then blue. When is blue ever happening? LOD 3 right here. Oh my goodness. Let me actually see when blue is actually going to happen. At 0.01, which it, oh, I guess it got to go, not 0.016, it got to go below that. So even farther away, which is, yikes, Arini. Oh, that was LOD 2. What in the heck? Okay, finally it changed to blue. Okay, yikes, what? This is LOD 3. I guess that's the proper distance. Let me see, what about these guys? Floor, whoops, floor. LOD. Click on custom, go down. So screen size of 1 for LOD 0. LOD 1 is 0.5, so it's a half of what. LOD 2 is 0.2, and then finally LOD 3 is 0.05. Oh, I see. Okay, let me go change. So it's already, whoop, what happened? This one is not even working properly. So this is 1. So at 0.2, and then yeah, 0.5. That's, how about 0. Green. About 0.8. Let me try that. 0.08. Will that work? So from red to green to blue. Okay, yeah, about that distance. Alright, so that's for the floor. Let me check within the, oh, that's for this floor. I was thinking of, I was in, oh wait, no, this is the correct floor. This goes right here. It's for this hallway. What is going on? Go back to here. Compile. Yeah, it did not change at all. I want. That's because I didn't actually change anything here. So let me. Okay, so this is the floor. Let me make sure I'm down here. So this is where you want to change. If you go to your static mesh and go to LOD settings, you change your number of LODs to 4, so that you have 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4 levels of detail. You don't want just the one LOD 0. That would be bad, because even though you're this far away, it's still going to be rendering it at the best, highest quality if you only have one level of detail. Even this far away, where you can't even see, it's like a dot, and yet it's rendering the full, 10,000 triangles and vertices and the full, 2K by 2K texture, which is bad. At this far, that would be very bad. So you want to split up your system, your level detail system, into at least 4. And then, depending on if your game is open world, but then your screen size numbers will be different just by, you can visually see how you want to set it. But in my case, like, this is the farthest hallway. This is the longest hallway. Deck 5, it goes from southern end all the way to the northern end. And so I can see visually that I don't want that. In fact, that's the staircase. And why is the staircase still showing? So I need to change that. But I can kind of see it's blue all the way back there, even though it's really tiny. Let me see, when does it turn green? That back wall back there, it's still blue. The back wall, not these walls right up here. There we go. Now from blue all the way back there to green. Do you see the wall back there? So that one's set. Still, that's too far. I'd rather that be blue, not green. At that distance. Okay, so you can tell, you can judge by your own view, like, what is too darn far. Like these gray textures, that's way too far. Or gray floors and gray ceilings. That is unnecessary. Does not need to render at the highest quality. So you need to fix that on your own. So in my case, I don't need it to be this far away. So let me open up the floor. If I change this first one, LOD 0 to 2, what will that do? No, it's already applied, so compile that. Sometimes you might have to compile it because it's actually in. Again, it won't matter really because this one is the actual static mesh. This one is the instance of that static mesh. So again, the Unreal Engine will use its own level of detail system, even though you set it manually here in the actual static mesh. So let's see what we got though. Yeah, I still didn't do anything, so we might have to actually force it by changing this number. Let's see if we change it 0.5, something smaller. Will it change it sooner? Okay, let's see. No, it did not. Let me see if I need to rebuild it. Oh. Any of these build doesn't have anything to do with the texture or anything or the level of detail. So let me make sure this is the correct one. Yeah, this is the floor. Okay, I'm gonna put this back to 1. Save that. Whoops. We want to try to apply changes. 0.5. Apply changes. LED 2 0.2. Apply changes. And sections. LOD 3. This was at 0. No, maybe that's why it wasn't even changing. So 0.05. Actually, not even that. 0.08. Like this floor. Let me see. 0.08, 0.2, 0.5, and 1.0. And then for percent triangles, you can just have it LOD 0 is at 100, LOD 1 is at 50, LOD 2 is at 25%, and then LOD 3 is at 12.5%. So let me change these triangles. Let me make sure, apply the changes. LOD 3 is at 12.5. Apply the changes. LOD 2 is at 25. Apply the changes. LOD 1 is at 50%. Apply the changes. And LOD 0 is at 100%. Let me see. So it should turn. Oops. At 0.05 should turn to green. You watch this number at the top. 0.05. Oh, it didn't turn green. Oh, 0.08, my bad. 0.08. There we go. 0.08. And then 0.2. There we go. 0.2. And 0.5 right there. And then 1. Zero 0.5 turns red, 0.2 turns green, and 0.08 turns blue. Okay, so that's how I want it to be. I manually set it that way. But again, it probably won't do that because they have their own, the engine has its own systems for level of detail. Oh, look, it's much better, a little bit better for the floor. But where's red? So that was for the floor. See, oh, here's red. It's weird. Green shows up before red. Wow. Okay, let me head back, all the way back. Alright. Let me do that for, let me just make sure everything is good here. LG 0 is at 1, screen size of 1, percent triangles at 100. LOD 1 is a half, screen size at a half, with percent triangle at a half, 50%. LOD 2 is at 0.2 at 25% triangles. And LOD 3 is 0.08 at 12.5 triangles. Okay, that's good. Let me check this. I think I checked it already. Oh, yeah. Okay, put that back. Let me do that for the ceiling. Click on the ceiling. Look at light. Light's already set. Good. LOD. Click on custom. One, two, three, four, five. It has 5. So I'm just going to change it. I don't need it. I don't need it at 5. I'm going to go all the way down. You can say remove LOD, but I'm not going to do it that way. I'm simply just going to say this 4, and I'll get rid of LOD 4 right here. Apply changes, and you see it just got rid of it by itself. And then this is the triangle. So let me go back up here. This is already set to 1. And 100. LOD 1 is set to 0.5. And is that instead of 85? I don't want it that high. So go down to 50%. Apply the changes. LOD 2 is at 0.2, much closer. Don't want it to take forever just to change. the changes, and then LOD, 0.08. No, not 5, 8. And this one is 12.5. Apply the changes. Alright, so everything here looks good now. And let's, I might have to change that, but we'll see in a bit for the ceiling. So right now I'm selecting the ceiling. And let's see. The ceiling is kind of nice. I don't know what's up with the floor. Let me see if I change this back. I'm going to go to LOD. Select the floor. Change this back. Maybe that will fix it. Probably not, but we'll see right now. Kind of. You can see red there. Or rather, red be where the ceiling and the walls are at. And green for the floor be where the ceilings and walls are at. So, what happened? 1.0, 1.0, 1.0, 1.0. 401, 401, distance, triangles at 100, 0.5, 0.5 and 50, 0.5 and 50, and then we got 0.2 and 25, 0.2 and 25, 0.2 and 25, and then 0.08 and 12. 0.08 and 12 and a half. So, okay, so I might have to look at it. Ceiling is at 1000. Floor is at 1000. Let me see. I think the last one is 0.5. Let me try 0.8. Save. Oh, disappeared again. I guess we gotta try to put it back to 0.9. Or try to push it back to 0.9. And then if not, I'll just push it back to 1. And okay, let me see. Does this? No, it looks like I might have to put it back to 1. Darn it. Okay, 1. Compile and save. And compile. Yeah. Looks like I'm stuck at 1. Let me see if I gotta go drink some water. Let me see. Drinking. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm gonna drink some more. See. Drinking. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm gonna drink some more. See. Drinking. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm gonna drink some more. See. So, let's see. I guess I have to settle for that. But at least you can see the floors and the ceiling now are changing to level of detail much sooner, and they're not staying gray the whole time. So that's good. Eh, so you know what? So this really is mainly for, I guess, some GPU and CPU savings, so it's not too harsh on your CPU and your GPU. But mainly, I wanted to work on LOD because of texture streaming. So texture streaming is when you have all these high quality textures streaming into your actual GPU memory and maybe even your CPU memory and causing your game to bog down or slow down and feel sluggish. So with LOD, some of the things with LOD, if you set it up manually, you can save some of your texture streaming problems so that your CPU and GPU doesn't your CPU and GPU memory, or at least your GPU memory and your system memory, doesn't get bogged down. So one of the reasons why I want to do that is because if you go to the Unreal Marketplace, let me see. Right, if you go to the Unreal Marketplace, you go into their, because they're selling their product, they're always going to make it at the highest quality level, right? So it's always going to be high quality. Like the textures, for me, I'm not making a AAA game, so I don't need 4K by 4K textures like this. And then for LOD, yes, it has 4, but sometimes it doesn't even have 4. It just has 1, which is bad, meaning it's going to render 4K by 4K textures, even though your leaves are very far away. So that's pretty bad. It's going to bog down your system unless you have like a really, really powerful system. But some other example, like maybe I was trying to look for, gosh darn it, I cannot find a good example. Anything with so vertex count, is see how high that is. Level of details, no. So this is bad. So this is why when you download this, you want to go into the actual project folder, like say go into their mesh, and whatever you use in your game, make sure that you're adjusting the hey, where are the quality of everything? So you go in and you open the chair and you want to make sure. So this one already has a few level of details, but sometimes it'll just say 0, and you don't want just that one. You want to, even this sometimes is too low, so at least a minimum of 4. So just go down to here and change that number from 3 to 4, or 0 to 4. Auto compute level of detail distances, you want to do that yourself, especially if you know your game. But if you don't, then turn it on and it will automatically set these screen size for you for each of the different LOD ones. Sets it at 0.5, which again, that to me is too far before it changes to level of detail 1. The human eye cannot see the detail at that far anyways, even if it is great detail. It's only at level of detail 0 that the human eye can really see the meticulous detail of the textures on this chair. So of course you want that one to be 1.0 or 100% triangles. But as you get to level detail 1, which should be about a half distance away, you really cannot see it too good. So, I mean, that's for your whatever you want to do for your game, but that's how I learned it from the AI chatbots. All right, so let me get rid of this and go back. So in my, I have the wall, and let me look at the level of detail colorization. So yeah, turns red, now green, and then a little bit farther back, turns blue. Okay, so that's good. With this one, a little bit farther back, turns blue, get closer, it's green, and then closer is red, and then finally the highest detail at gray or white. As you get to this one, doesn't need to be high detail. This one even less. And then back here, it's even less. Alright, so you can batch this, but unfortunately, they are all in different folders, so I don't know how to batch. Oh, maybe I can select it like this. Yeah, it doesn't. Even if you right click it, it doesn't show you. You actually have to be in the content browser to batch. Let me see. This one here. Let me go to the ceiling. Oh, my bad. Not that ceiling. To the actual content browser. So let me look at it. So you can, I guess you can do it this way. So if this is all static mesh, no, not everything is static mesh. But, let's see. There's some, you can filter it by static mesh. Now everything is static mesh. And then you can control all. Whoops. You have to do it this way. Control all. Right click. You can't see the right click, but if you go to right click, asset actions, and then edit selection and property matrix, then you click yes. You don't want to actually change all of these just because some of them are small props, but others are large architecture. And that one you want to separate them. Is this going to load? It takes a while to load, I guess. I don't know if it's even going to load at all. Is it going to load? Is it going to load at all? Hello. Okay, it took forever on my system. Maybe your system is much more advanced. Okay, so level of detail. Number of cinematic map levels, I don't know what that is. LOD group, it has multiple different ones, because again, not everything is it's high detail. I really don't need high detail for tables, a side table. Reset to default. What is default? Apparently, default is none. See, where is the level of detail? Not the LOD, not that by itself, but all the other stuff. Hmm. Well, guess you have to. maybe add it here, I think. Let's see, if I just type in LOD, that's all it gives. But if I type in LOD here, that's also all it gives. Let me close this. Let me go back and just open only this one. And let's try the one next to it. And let's try it again. Probably the meshes were way too different. And we got a little bit more, but not even the correct ones. Static mesh. Okay, you know what? I'm moving on from this. That's enough of that. Let me see. If I even pick just one, will it still show me the options that I want? Or no? No, it doesn't, unfortunately. Wow. How about in here? Well, that really sucks. Okay, never mind then. I'm moving on. Okay, I'm just going to close this, and I'm just going to go down the line here. So ceiling, we already set this. Make sure light. Oops, not this. Light. Is set for all of them. Save. LOD is set. So again, screen size 1%, 100. Screen size LOD 0 is 1 and 100. LOD 1 is 0.5 and 50. And then LOD 2 is 0.2 and 25 and 0.25, and LOD 3 is 0.08 and 12 and a half. So I would have done this bulk edit, but I can't seem to find the options in the property matrix anyway, so I'm just going to do this one by one. Light. Not again. I need the actual corner itself. Static mesh. Light. That's good. LOD. Click on custom. And go back down. Make sure you click on do not auto compute. In my case, I want to manually set these. Apply changes. Make sure it's 4 number of LOD. And it is an architecture, so you want to set it to architecture. Not small prop or large prop or something like that. So go back up. 1.0. 100 for LOD 0. LOD 1 is 0.5 and 50%. LOD 2, let me apply changes. 0.2, whoops, 0.2, 25%, apply changes. LOD 3 is 0.08 at 12.5%, apply changes. And that's it. Alright, so I did that. So I don't know if I need to do that for this, but moving on. Cover. Oh my gosh. M cover wooden instance. This is the wrong one. It's using engine. Why? Why do you do this? I need... See, is this the correct one? Yeah, this is the correct one. But I feel like this is going to mess up the actual covers now in the game. I have to change it. Let me see if I apply. Click on this. Click on light. Light is fine. LOD. Okay. 1.0, 100. 0.5 at 50. 0.2 at 25. 0.08 at 12 and a half. Apply changes. Apply changes. Alright. Don't need to change the texture. The texture is already changed right here in the static mesh itself. But now let's actually compile and see what it looks like in game. It's probably all messed up. I'm going to have to change it like physically here. Because if I mess with the actual plane, other riffs are using it too, and so it's going to mess with those riffs. And I don't want, like, if I go here and click on cover, you see it's using the plane. It's using the same mesh, but it's using a different material instance. So don't. If I click on it, yeah, it opens the same one. So I don't want to mess with the material instance here. I only mess with it in the actual instance static mesh setting or component. So again, let's see what it looks like after we compile. Save and what was it? Oh, it was the where is it? Maybe this side doesn't need it. Oh, it's right here. It seems to be fine, actually. Yeah. See, okay, it's right there. It's fine. Alright, cool. Okay, so I don't need to change or mess with it anymore. But let me see down here. It might have messed up these ones down here. No? They look fine as well. No? Uh-oh. Right over here. No, they look fine. Kind of, sort of. Ah, yeah. But if I go up. Yeah, so it's only this little bit right here. That's cover. That's what the covers do. They cover so that the seekers don't look out into the abyss between this wall and this wall. Oh, okay. Alrighty then. So those are fine. LOD, they're set how I want them to be set. So let's go. And then next down the list, door. We click on the door, static mesh, open it up, and type in, let me see, light first. Light is fine. Okay, LOD. Let me see something. The corners, I don't need cast shadow. Don't need cast shadow. They don't need to be the ones casting shadows. But shadows can be cast onto them, but not the ones casting the shadows. Yeah, don't need it. Save. Save all. For now, and I'll add shadows back later. But for now, they don't need to be. Because the game is so dark anyways. And I do have lights, but I can use a different type of shadow system. But I'll get there. I'll cross that bridge when I get to it, which is a very long time from now. I'm working on other stuff. Turn off shadows. This is at 2.0. This is at 4 LOD, that's fine. Turn this back on. Just make sure. Okay. And when it's grayed out like this, then you have to turn off auto compute down here so that you can manually set it yourself. So auto compute LOD distances, uncheck it so that you can manually change the settings yourself. Like 12.5 is fine, but this I want to change it sooner at 0.8. 25 is fine, but this sooner at 0.2. 50% is fine, but this, oh my gosh, that's way too far away. I need it to change closer. And it's 100% at 1.0. Okay, good. I did this already, didn't I? Oh, here we go. So we change these to 4. These to 4. These to 4. So I wonder if I need to do that for this. No. Pretty sure I have to do it for one of these because I didn't do it. I don't remember doing that. So let me see. Light. Yeah, here we go. Change this to 4. Change this to 4. Don't need high minimum light map resolutions. Again, I'm not trying to create a AAA game. It could be an F, so long as it's playable and performant. High performance. Doesn't have to be high visual quality. Just as long as it runs without crashing or bogging the player system, the seeker system down, bogging down the seeker system. Let's see. Dun, 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 dun. Do I need to do that for these guys? I don't think so, because these were already set. Yeah, these were already set. Alright, going down the... since I'm here, I might as well check because of my OCD. LOD. Alright. Okay, so I got the ceiling, corner, cover, door. Now I need doorway. So ceiling, corner, cover, door. Now doorway. Open that up. First check the light. Is that 4414? Okay, good. LOD. It's kind of weird, but we can fix that right now. And don't need shadows on this. Dun, 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 dun. Let's go over here. It has 4 LEDs, fine. I need to turn off auto compute. Okay, 4 number of LEDs. Alright, back up here. It's already changed to 1 and 100. That's good. This one should be 0. Oh gosh, I can't type. 0.5 and 50. Oops, apply changes. This one's not set at all. So 0.2. Apply changes in 25. Oops, I'm going to turn these. So many different textures on these. Apply changes. 0.2 and 25. This one is 0.08. 0.08. And gotta change that later. 12.5. Okay, and okay, that's good. Now we change this back to 4, this back to 4, this goes back to 4, and that's it. We don't need high quality light map resolutions, especially not at those different level of details. Okay, make sure our cast shadow's off. Yes, I forgot to turn this one off. Apply changes. Alright, and then what's after this? This is the doorway. So now I need to change. Oh, wait, let me look at it. Red. Whoa, the door changed to blue already? Weird. It's completely skipped green. So let me see what's going on. Yeah, didn't even have a green. Just went straight from red to blue. I probably didn't set up these correctly. 0 is 1, 100, 0.5. Turn off cast shadows. 0.5. Let me go back up here. 0.5. 50. 0.2. 25. Oh, that's why it just completely skipped, because it's also at 0.2. So 0.08. Get rid of cast shadows. Apply changes. 12.5. There we go. So now let's see. It should show a green. There's green. There's a red. There's a white. So now this one should change at the same time. Green, green, blue, blue. Kind of different, actually. But that's much better. Okay, so doorway, door. Let's do fence. So this is the fence. What does the light look like? Now that's bad. There's only one LOD. This is what I'm talking about. You don't want LOD 0 or just one LOD. You want at least 4. So we have to go down and create the new level of details. Because if we just keep this one level of detail, that means the quality, the high quality of this, no matter how far away we are, is still going to be rendering at that high quality, even though you cannot see the detail. So that's going to be wasting your GPU and CPU, so you don't want that. And it's going to be like running in the background, and that's pretty bad. And you're going to be wondering, why is it my memory running out? It's because this thing is still at a high quality level of detail. So let's go ahead and change that by going into all the way down here to number of detail, change it from 1 to 4, apply the changes, and now you see there's different levels. So we go back up, go back down, turn off auto compute level descents. You want to compute them yourself manually, because if it's this is grayed out, then you have to turn that off so that you can manually change this. So screen size of 1% at 100, screen size of 0.5% at 50. Apply changes, turn off the cast shadow. This one, LOD2, 0.2 at 25%. And this one, not 0, you want 0.08 at 12.5, or I want it anyways for my game. Alright, so now we can change this and see what's going on. Mesh level of detail coloration turns red only for a short while, and then green, and then blue. Before I do that, let me change this. Nope, doesn't need it. You see what is going on. I feel like some of the textures need to be changed or something. It's already 1024. Reduced it to have a detail bias of 2. Okay. Resource size is only 43k, so that's pretty good. Alright, I think I changed these already. Alright. Let me apply changes. Everything. Cast shadows off for now. Turn that on later. No. Alright, that's good. Alright, what's next? Fence, and then I think it did the floor. Yeah, so. Did I do the floor? Yes. I checked this a million times, so I don't need to check that anymore. Pillar. Let's do the pillar. First, let's look at this. it's part of the props. Okay, so it's fine. It's already set. Alright. So this pillar looks like this. And let's check the light. 40141 LOD. Also, only one, so that's bad. So even though it's high quality here, it'll still render that way, even though it's so far away. It's just a point on the map, and you can't even see the detail. It's still going to render it at high quality, so that's bad. We want to change that from 1 to 4. Number of LODs to 4. Apply the changes. Get rid of cast shadow. Cast shadow and cast shadow. Apply changes. It's a small prop, but since you're manually doing this, you don't need to give it an LOD group. Or I'm manually doing this. Okay, so again, screen size 1 at 100%, percent triangles. Okay, this one is too far. I need it closer at 0.5. And 50%. This one is too far as well. 1.2 at 25%. And this one's too far, 0.08 at 12%. Save it. Change the color of the view mode. So we get closer, it turns green, closer it's red, and then really close it's... Okay. Alright. So that's good. Alright. What is that? That's the pillar. So last but not least... Oh, there's a lot more actually. Stairs. There's a few stairs. Let's look at light. That's good. LOD. Oh wow, the stairs don't have... No wonder at far away you can still see it's gray. This isn't a bad example. I need to be up here. Oh, we're down this end of the corridor. You can see how it's gray right there. Yeah, it's pretty bad. That means it's still rendering at the highest quality, even though it's all the way back there in the blue section. So let me go up. That gray that you see right there at the end, that's the stairs. And we don't want that. We don't want that. And in our low level game, because if it stays gray, that means it's going to keep its high quality textures and high quality mesh vertices and triangles, which we don't want. So let's head all the way back. No, it's still gray. It's not turning green, not turning red, not turning blue. That's pretty bad. We don't want that. Let's go this way. See, even from here we can still see it's gray. So let's try to fix that by... So no matter how far we are, it's still gray. So we fix that by giving it more level of details. So instead of just the one LOD 0, we give it more by going all the way down here. Turn off auto compute. Change 1 to 4. At least a minimum of 4. Get rid of cast shadows, cast shadows, cast shadows. It's already set to 1 at 100. This one set to a half at 50%. Apply changes. This one is 0.02 at 25%. Apply changes. 0.2 at 25%, and this one is 0.08 at 12.5%. Apply changes. Save. So let's see. Red to green to blue. Green, red, white. Okay, that's fine. Alright. Next stairs. So different set of stairs. You can see its pattern is different from this pattern. Level of detail mesh. Let's look at the light. It's good. Custom. Okay, we don't want just the one. So let's change it to 4. Apply the changes. It's all kinds of messed up, so we gotta fix it ourselves. 0. Cache shadows, cache shadows. Cache shadows. 1.0, 100%. Apply changes. 0.5 at 50%. Apply changes. 0.2 at 25%. Apply changes. 0.08. 0.08 at 12.5%. Apply changes. So 2, 3, and then 4. Alright. That's good. Can compile that. So the changes in the static, the instance component uses the changes from the static mesh editor. Now you can see that it's not there anymore. It's turned blue. So from gray to blue, that's much better. Gray. So it's blue. Should turn. That's the stairs. The dark blue right there. Stairs. Turns. When is it going to turn green? Now it's turning green. Then red. And now gray and white. So that one changed much sooner, but that's fine. Or rather, it changed sooner than later. Because the stairs itself has really high detail. Alright. So back again. Wall, I think didn't we do wall? First of all, let me see. Yeah, LED. Okay, light is good. LOD. It has 4 already, so I don't have to add the others. Let me just get rid of these. Don't want it casting shadows right now. And then I have to because it's grayed out, we have to turn off the auto compute. 100%. Dun, dun, dun. 0.2, 25%. And apply changes, turn that off. Apply changes. Alright. 0.8, 12.5, 0.2, apply changes, 50%, 0.5, apply changes, 100%, 1.0, okay. Let's see what it looks like. Gray to red, to green, to blue. Alright. Okay, so that's the last one. I don't need to do the cards because they're different. They're tiny. And there's not hundreds of them being spawned in the world or added. It's only just 6. That's about it. And so save that. And see, it changed a little bit, but that's fine. Rebuild everything. Save. Let's see what I messed up. Click on selected viewport. Oh, that's what I messed up. You can see the textures are very blurry. The wallpaper textures look blurry at this distance. As you get closer, they have a little bit more detail. Oops. If the frames per second is at least above 60, then that should be good. Yeah, it's above 60. So 70 to 70, 70 to 80. It looks like it's about 70, 75, or 80. Where is this guy? I can hear him stomping around, this monster. It's a bunch of anti-aliasing. That's fine. Where is he? Anyways, I'm not trying to play a full... Oh, gosh. Hopefully he doesn't come in here. Okay, interesting. Let me see something. If I stop this, look at the monster. Dun 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 dun. Go up here into monster. The acceptance radius is 250. 250. So that means told him to go to the middle of a hallway, not to the actual room. That's why he stopped all the way back at the beginning of the hallway rather than at the room. My logic is it's supposed to be to every room, not in the middle of hallways. But I think that one was set there because it's a unique type of room. It has a long hallway that, you know, stretches into the room. So I guess I have it start there. Okay, so the fly through is it's at 90 to 100 frames per second. So that's, I mean, it's just a fly through. It's not the actual in game. Um, did that one. You know what I just realized? That's the wrong rift. This is the wrong rift. I guess I was just testing it before because of the ceilings and the floors were all gray, no matter how far off we were. So I kind of finished setting that one up. Now I need to do that for Rift 3, what I just did here. So, yikes. Let me do that. Close these. Turn that off. Okay. Make sure this is set. Save that. Rebuild. We just rebuild it. It's really quick anyways. And then change it back. This is the actual rift that I want to work on. Alright, so let me go start with ceiling. It's taking forever to turn blue. No, 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 no. I don't want that. Do not want that. Still green. Oh my goodness. Finally, it turned blue. When it's a little pinprick. Oh my gosh. A pinpoint. Let me go back. That's bad. I don't want it to render at that whenever it's that far off. You know, there's no distance in my game that is that far anyways, so that's not making good use of the 4 level of details. So let me go ahead and start with ceiling. Go to corner. What's after corner? Cover. I don't need to do cover. Cover is already done from the last. Yeah, this is the same exact one. You see LOD of that. Turn off shadows. I don't need it. So let's just close that one. So we got ceiling, corner, door. Whoops, we don't want that door. We want this door. Corner, door, doorway. Then fence. Then floor. It's already up here. And then stairs. It was already up here. And then the wall. Yeah, it's already up here too. LOD. Alright, so let me just start here. Oh wait, I think I already did these. This is what I was working on before I started streaming, so let me just look at these again. 6.25. Let me change these to be more consistent. No, I think I changed that for a reason, so let me leave that there. Cast shadow 1.0. Yikes. I don't know what this one was set at, so let me look at the other map. Let me look at the wall. See what that one was set at. Recompute tangents, mix space. Compute tangents, mix space. Remove degenerates, reverse index buffer. Remove degenerates, reverse index buffer. UE for compatible UVs. UE for compatible UVs. Generate light UVs. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Alright. So, whoop. Yeah, I changed it. So instead of LOD 0 being 100%, I changed it to 50%. Because if you look at the normals, the triangles and vertices up here, there's too much of it unnecessary. So 14.95 and 8.7, that's fine like that. See, oh my gosh. Yeah, I think I might That's so high. That's unnecessarily high. So, dun dun dun. Yikes, Serena. Let me see. What about 25? Doesn't matter. I think that's the maximum or minimum that it could ever go to, so doesn't matter if I change the percentage. Oh, I didn't hit apply. Duh. Okay, there we go. A little bit better, but not really. Alright, okay. So what did I... Okay, so I went from 1.0 to 25%, 25, 0.5 to also 25%, let's say 12.5, and then 0.2 to not 12%, 6.25%, apply the changes, and then 0.08 to... Yikes, what? What have I done here? 6.25%. Apply the changes. And here, 0.08, and this is, I don't know, 6.25 divided by 2, 3.125. 3.125% of the triangles. Okay. $94, $83, $187, $136, $374, $245, it's still pretty high, but it's much better than 5,000. Okay, we'll go with that. Okay, make sure. What else? Oh, that's done. What about light? Okay, light is fine. Let's compile that. The wall is the biggest one because it's the one that the seekers are always going to be facing the walls as opposed to facing the floor or the ceiling. Floor is second. What they're going to be looking at. Let's see. So it changed it. Yeah. It's nice. I like it. Okay. So we'll keep that. These, well, okay, that's not too far away, that's why. They're green. Alright, that's fine. With their distance. Alright, so that was wall. What's next? Stairs. Let's look at stairs. Oh, I think I just did these, didn't I? Not just did these, but was working on this before Rift 4. The decals are not showing up for some reason. I might have to actually mess with that. See if I can make them show. Oh, that's why they don't even have a base color. .4K by 4K. These are decals. They don't need to be any. This is all that they have. 4K by 4K, reduced to 512, and level of detail bias to 2. Right? Apply. And that's just for those. So if we go back, maybe there's a base color here. Let me put that in there. No, still doesn't show anything. There. If we put it to linear, show something, but should not be at that. From texture, this one is linear color, this one is color, and this one is just regular color. For some reason it doesn't show. 0, it's not metallic. Specular, default is 0.5. Roughness is, I don't remember what roughness is. It's reflection maybe. It's really high roughness, so the decal is just not glossy or shiny at all. Well, I don't know what else to put up here to change this. Doesn't, just to show those decals. Don't see it anywhere up here. Maybe I need to enable, because these are not parameters. There's no parameters, in fact. So there's no parameters here to enable. Cast shadow, blend mode, opacity, shading model, two-sided. Does allow you to see two-sided decals? No. Alrighty, never mind. Okay, turning it off. It doesn't seem to add any decals. What was it? Oh. Okay, what the heck? It shows up now. Before it was a checkerboard. Well, fine. Fine. Do what you want. Okay, so LOD 0 is, I need a 100. I need to turn off the auto compute. That way I can change the screen sizes. Turn that off. Apply changes. The stairs apparently is a large prop, but that's fine. 12.5, because we're manually changing them anyway, so 0.08. Oh, 0.08, so I can change much sooner than further away. Oops, apply changes here. Then this is 25, 0.2. Apply changes. 50, 50% is 0.5. Apply changes. And then 100% at 1. So that's good. Don't need that to be anything else. Alright, next is floor. I think I did floor already, but let me just go through it. When I was off stream, dun, 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 dun. 0.5, 50%, apply changes. 0.2, 25%, apply changes. 0.08, 12.5%, apply changes. Okay, yeah, I did these already, offline. Alright, so what's next? The fence. Light. Save. LOD. Custom. At least these decals show. I don't know why the others didn't show. Apply changes. Turn this off. Let me see something real quick. Yeah, there's 4. Apply changes. Apply changes. And turn off auto compute. 12.5, 0.0. I need this to change earlier than 0.3. Apply changes. 25 is 0.2. Apply changes. 50 is at 0.5. Apply changes. 100% is at 1.0. Apply changes. Alright, that's all good. So that was for the fence. Green, blue, red, green, blue, red. Nice. Changes at nice distances. Alright. Doorway. Let's look at the light. It's good. LOD. Do, 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 do. 100%. Apply changes. I might have done this already because cache shadow's off. The numbers are already set. Oh, well, that's just the first one. So 0.5, 50%. Cache shadow's off. Apply change. 0.2, 25%. Cache shadow's off. Apply change. 0. Let me change this to 0.8. 12.5. Apply changes. And architecture, that's fine. Alright. Good. I already did these already. So that's done. Red, green, blue. You see the blue, is that supposed to take that long? Yeah. 008 screen size. Green, red, and then, okay, gray. So let's go to the next one. Door. I think this is one of mine I've done as well. Let me just make sure. Custom. Yeah, cast shadows off. Sorry, I did these. 1.0. Apply changes. 100%. Move to generate reverse index buffer. UE4 compatible. Triangles. Okay. 0.5, 50%. Cast shadows off. 0.2, 25%. Apply changes. 0. Let's do that sooner. Cast shadows off. 12.5. Apply changes. Architecture. Alright. See. Red, green, blue. Red, green, blue. Alright. That's for the door. That's all done. Let me see something. The door. Oh, I never changed any of those. Culling. Alright, so that was the door. Next is the cover or pillar. Let's look at light. It's fine. Okay, this is not fine. We don't want this rendering at a high quality, even though it's not even in view or at far off distances. So we're going to have to get rid of that. Apply changes, apply changes. Alright, we go down, turn off that, change this to 4 instead of just 1. Apply changes. Alright, so does it need an LOD group? Because we're manually changing these, we're not letting it auto compute. 12.5, 0.08. Oh, you can't go higher than any of the higher ones, so I have to start at the top. 1.0, 100. This one is 0, so that's why we couldn't change that one at the bottom. 0.5 and 50%. Apply changes. 0.2 and 25%. Apply changes. Now we can say 0.08 at 12.5%. Apply changes. And let's see how that. So LOD 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, good. Maybe LOD 1 is very close. It's a little too close, but that's fine. Next, oh, I think I did ceiling. Let me go back and check. Yes. Light. I think that it did ceiling, so I don't need to do this anymore. Just double check everything. Yeah, cast shadows off. Remove index buffer. Compatible. Save. 4. Okay. Apply the changes. Triangles of 100. The next one over is 0.5 and 50%. Cast shadows off. Apply change. 0.2 and 25%. Cast shadows off. Apply changes. 0. No, that's too far. way too far. Apply changes. Cache outs off. 12.5. LOD 0. LOD group of none. That's fine. Alright. We can compile all this. Dun dun dun. We don't need these. We're already prepared there. What happened? Apply changes. Let me try this again. All of those off. 1.0. Apply changes. 100%. All of these off. 0.5. 50%. Apply changes. All of these off. 0.2. 25%. Apply changes. And all of these off. 0.08. 12.5%. And apply changes. Don't know why, but should be good now. Green, red, gray. Dun dun dun. Oh yeah, these walls have to be changed differently because I don't know why the walls themselves were really high quality. So I needed to change percent triangles differently from all the others. Close that. Compile it again. Okay, now what? Rebuild just really quick. Right. Yeah, at least it's above 60 frames per second. It's just the textures. Not the textures, but the lighting. Textures looks fine in the light. But outside of the flashlight, it's fuzzy and staticky. Uh-oh, you can see me. You definitely see me. I don't know if the monster's coming this way. I don't know where he went. Seems to run fine though. If anything, it could look decent, like how I want it to look, but once you get close, it really messes with the lighting and textures and all that kind of stuff. That's probably something I have to work on later. That's pretty much it though, you know? It's got some decent frames per second. At least it's above 60 frames per second. From 90 to 100, which is better than Rift 4, the Victorian Mansion, which right now, Victorian Mansion is the one that feels like it's the best running Rift right now. Not only does it run nicely, but it also looks nicely. It doesn't do any of these staticky, fuzzy textures on the peripheral vision. Whereas Rift 2 and Rift 1 does this, and Rift 3, but Rift 4 doesn't seem to do this. But you know what? That's pretty much it. Those are all the 3D objects right now, other than the cosmic cards themselves. So it's just floors, ceilings, walls, stairs, corners, fences, doors, and doorways. That's it. That's in my game right now. Later, with the corridor chain detection, I was trying to add more props into the world so that these hallways don't look so empty, like a backrooms or something, like a backrooms hallway. But they have like stains on the wall, rust or water dripping, lights falling off the ceiling, cables on the floor, or broken doors or something. But I'll add all of that stuff later. Right now it's just doing the LOD prep, just like I did the texture prep. This one's still kind of I guess it's fine. As you can see, this doorway is still gray or white, which it shouldn't be because that's like really far away, but that's okay. With culling on, it's just gonna completely get rid of it. It's like invisible. It doesn't even render it, doesn't even load it, nothing until you get really up close to it like that, and then it will render it. But other than that, you guys, that's pretty much it. That's the level of detail prep for my game. So hopefully you guys, took away something from that, and will probably work on your own game. Try to optimize your own. Textures and static mesh levels. But other than that, you guys, I am done. Thank you for watching. Thank you for stopping by. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.